Hey guys, welcome to another fun and exciting Iron Mike GT7 stream. This is the Nations Cup final round at Trail Mountain. I think it's 2 times fuel and 3 times tyre wear with soft and medium tyres required. Wasn't too sure which car to go with. I did try a number of cars like Porsche, WRX, even the Alpha, and finally decided I'd go with a car which I thought was interesting, the Suzuki. I haven't used it before, and for my pace it seemed to go okay, but I get the feeling I wasn't up to pace with a number of people in this race, or in general, I guess. So with that, I thought I'll start from the back, race one of the day, and see how I go. Consideration of starting up the front, always a possibility, but looking at people's qualifying times, some people are out doing even my best qualifying time, and I thought, well, the majority of them were, and I thought I'll start from the back. So mediums first, of course, and with that tyre wear, my strategy was 8 laps on medium and then 8 laps on soft. So we've already passed TCR Kirchhoff, who's had a bit of an issue. We will see him again a little bit later in the race. And now, so moving up one spot behind Dasher, who I'm not friends with Sky, but I'm leaning towards putting in a friend request. I've raced with him a number of times and he's quite clean. There are a number of people I know in this race, like D-Mock, can't remember the others, but anyway, none others come to mind except for or Unknown Alien. But this race again, there's Have Fun or the Brown Baron. It's quite interesting whenever we're in a race together, the Brown Baron or Have Fun seems to do pretty good. So we should be more races together, I guess. Yeah, the Brown Baron, I think he's in 4th place at the moment. And I'm just hanging on for dear life at the back. Not too sure what to make of this race. I did find though, getting near the end of a stint with tyres, I did notice other people really beginning to slow down, almost as though they've just chewed out their tyres a bit too quick. So I just gained a little bit, not a great amount. My level of knowledge and experience on this track is limited. I'm getting more familiar with it, but usually, like for example, this turn 1, 2 and 3 and 4, I think, this twisting, I don't think I'm taking this absolutely correctly and it's slowing me down. I've got to do a bit more research on it. Again here, picking the right line, I'm unfamiliar with it. It's funny when you've got a track like this and you just don't know where to take a line around a corner, and you tell yourself, it's a corner. How can it be so hard? Take it as you normally would any other corner. But I don't know, it's just weird. My pace down this straight seemed okay in this car. I'd be looking at, when I enter the shadow part here, what speed am I doing? Hopefully around the 240k an hour. Other cars would be like maybe a low 230s, and I think, not the car for me. That's why I really chose this car at the end of the day. Plus also to throw a spanner in the works. I knew no one else would be using this car, and I don't know how many people have even tried this car, so I thought I'll try something different and see what comes of it. And one place so far, heading towards lap 3, 1 position. Not doing great. So once again, I put these races out because I cannot save them. So if I eventually run out of space on my PlayStation and I have to delete this race, I've just lost it forever. So I'm just putting it up on YouTube again. And the other reason is I've had a bit of a change lately. Had a slight issue in this race, and then after this race I went on to my second account and the same issue occurred, but got even worse, and I just got really frustrated. I'll explain shortly. I think it will be coming up in a few laps. You'll see what I'm talking about. Just getting this corner right as well. You know, I think it's all about the exit speed. So this is Shango, just quickly. Shango in front of me. Remember about 2 or 3 streams ago at Suzuka, I broke a bit too late, I think it was, and I tapped him and had to slow down. So this race I was very conscious, just in case he thought I was a dirty driver or something, you know. Just very conscious, don't do it twice in a row. Within paying his penalty, you get past him quite clear, so move up another place, 12th spot. And on lap 4, so we're almost halfway through our first stint, which is on mediums, and the tyre wear's looking okay. That was the other reason why I picked this car. The tyre wear was pretty good, and the car felt stable. That's a big thing for me. I want a car that I don't have to fight. I want it to be smooth on the straights and smooth on the corners. It just gives me that confidence to try and push the car as fast as I can. So we'll just keep an eye on when, like, there was just yellow flags there. So maybe people are just, maybe if they're on softs, their tyres are just starting to struggle a little bit. Plastic Scouser in the pits on his soft, which I thought, wow, that's lap 4, that's a bit early. That was the other thing, before this race, during the week, coming up with the 8 on medium, 8 on soft, I did also consider or try just 1 lap on medium, 7 on soft, and then 8 on soft. But that 7 on soft wasn't enough to make up for that pit loss I just had. You know, so I realised a 2 stopper is not really viable. So it may have been around here where I started to think, you know, I'm starting to catch up to TCR jewelry. Maybe it was around here I started to think, tyres, people's tyres are slowing down now. This is where I was hoping I'd be able to make some ground. See there, that's that little chicane there. I'm not 100% sure about it. Sometimes I can go a bit too hard in there and just go too deep. So I'm not too sure of the correct line. See, I'm catching up just slowly. That was a pug or square brick. Just having an issue there, so in 8th, 9th place. I think people are pitting possibly. So there's quite a reasonable amount of wear on my mediums, but they're still going okay, and I'd be gauging that against my next tyre. So if this is how worn my mediums are, I'm predicting then my softs might be near the end of 8 laps twice as bad, and there's still plenty of room for wear. So I felt like I was sitting pretty comfortable with putting softs on after 8 laps. So we're getting close now to the issue I want to bring up that I had, and that issue is my wheel. I've done plenty of streams, mainly in the early days I had issues with my pedals, my brake was flickering, but for a while now I had a little patch of where my wheel would lose calibration during the race, and not only during a race, maybe in practice, in lobbies, I'd lose calibration. Just on the occasional time I've opened up my wheel in the past, looked on YouTube, cleaning sensors, trying my best to keep the G29 Logitech G29 wheel going. So there's a few people pitting now, so moving up to 6th place. So it's on this up and coming lap, which is my in lap. So I've had calibration issues in the past. So what that means is I'm going down the straight, my wheel is at 12 o'clock, and all of a sudden the sensor will move, causing my car to turn to the left, for example. So I'm having to turn my wheel to the right to counteract that, and my wheel is now sitting at 1 o'clock. And then maybe 30 seconds later it will then recalibrate again, and it's going the other way. And it happened in this race and the next race, so I think you'll see it shortly. see like a bit of a jolt, and then all of a sudden I'm correcting, and I just thought, oh no, and then I thought, well, this is my in-lap, so I'm able to reset my wheel, go through its calibration. I'm not sure if it's already happened. I'm sitting quite far back, but at a certain point there is a bit of a jolt, and I think it already has happened. So in this situation, I'm lucky. It's happened on my in-lap. I'm not in first place, for example, where I'm losing positions. I'm starting to clip walls now. It's not right, because I've mentally got to correct myself and not put my wheel to 12 o'clock. Oops. So you'll see here, because I've pulled the wheel to recalibrate. Luckily enough, the pit stop is long enough for me to do this. I've actually, I think it's actually this, what you're watching now, does actually cut there. The cut was just there, and the recording stops while I'm fixing my wheel. So because of that, I've had to cut out the other little replay in the corner, or else at the end of the race they'll be out. So then I've had to then realign this, the bottom right hand corner, realign it and continue on. So there's that Kirchhoff again. We're going around turn one together. No intention of me, but yeah, just bad luck, I guess. I think because I'm going slower than him around that corner, I haven't really suffered. He's going pretty fast. He probably had no room to correct himself. I think at a certain point he does drop out, so we're down to 13 drivers. I did feel bad. I was expecting him to be, having a go at me at the end of the race, and then I see he quits and leaves, and I must admit personally I thought, oh, thank God for that, because I was feeling guilty of that. So now my wheel is calibrated again, and luckily again, this is not, even though it's the last race of the round, it's not like I'm near the top ranking and I just need third or better to become, enter the world championships, or there's nothing like that, so there's no pressure. But what frustrated me was, there may come a day where I'm in first place, there may come a day when I really am working hard to get a win, and my wheel just decides to lose calibration, and I got really frustrated. On this race I didn't, it was just annoying, but then the second race it got worse. And so after the race, during the race, I'm just pounding the wheel with my fist. I'm getting really frustrated. And then at the end of the race, I just picked my wheel up and was just smashing it against my couch. And then I turned my wheel to the left so hard, I heard something crack inside, and I think it's the rack and pinion. I think it's the pinion that broke. I'd had a gutful. And so that's how I reacted. And then maybe once I'd calmed down, I thought, well, let's have a look at what damage I've caused, and turn the wheel back on. And yeah, it was lost calibration altogether. And maybe it was repairable, but I could repair it back to where it was still loose calibration. So I've pretty much binned my Logitech G29, and the very next day I went out and bought a Thrustmaster TGT2, which I'm using. It's pretty heavy, so I've got a bit of time between race seasons to get used to it. I'm hoping it will improve my driving abilities. Previously I had done the time trial with the little Formula 1 cars at Suzuki, and my lap time with my G29 was about 1:51. You know, just doing a couple of laps, 1:51, whereas now I've got it down to 1:45. So that's about 6 seconds difference. Yeah, that's a massive amount. So we'll see the new season, see how I go. I've just got to get familiar with the wheel and yeah, go from there. So once again, 8 laps on medium, and now I'm on my softs, and you can see they're really starting to wear down a little bit now. Yeah, see that? That's just going a bit too deep in some corners. Or just, there were times when I feel like my brakes were just giving up. I feel like my pace was okay. My braking was at generally the right time, I felt. And yet I'd just be drifting off into a wall. So you look at the top right map, you can see like there's a pack of about 5 or 6 front runners, with one guy absolutely leading, which is TC or Takuma. Then you've got like a mid pack of about 4 cars, and then you've got the stragglers at the back, and I'm leading the stragglers. I put that down to losing calibration, didn't help. Choice of car possibly, and my interpretation of this track. I think maybe I should be going a touch further out there to take a faster line. Maybe I should be staying in 6th gear. I don't know. But starting 14th, I'm in 9th at the moment. It's reasonable. And just one more thing, you know, occasionally you see lately I've been doing streams where I actually qualify properly and I'm starting like 8th or 5th or 1st or 2nd, whereas I'm really known for starting at the back, and this race I did. And I guess for me, at the end of the day, if I'm doing my qualifying during the week and my lap times are pretty fast and it's a tough race, I will definitely start up the front. If I start at the back, it's hard to get past people. It makes sense to start up the front. Or if my lap times are pretty good, but it's a fast, easy track to get past people, I may start at the back. But then the third situation is if I'm if I'm not confident, if I'm unfamiliar, I'm not going to be putting myself up near the front. Just getting in everyone's way, making mistakes, potentially taking people off track. I'll start from the back. So yeah, that's why sometimes I'm at the front, I'm at the back. I try to avoid being in the middle. So hopefully while you're watching, you'll notice there's certain corners where you're probably wondering, why am I gearing down so low or taking a bit of an unorthodox line. Just not familiar enough with this track. There was a point where I was close to TC Jury, and he just slowly was pulling away. I really wanted to catch up and get him, but it just was never to be. And now I've got Pug in the Maz division. He's in my rear view now. He's been slowly catching. We've still got another 3 laps to go. I was amazed at the end of it. I realised, wow, this is quite a lengthy race. 16 laps at let's say an average of 1:52. If it was 2 minutes, that's 32-minute race. So I worked it out to be maybe about just over 30 minutes. For me, normally we do about 28 minute races, so things are starting to pick up a bit. You know, getting a bit more lengthier races going on. So I could feel TC Jury getting away. So now it's just my focus was on Pug behind me, who I knew once he's in my slipstream, I'm gone. And I think he's there now. He's already in my slipstream. And myself, so there's still quite a bit of meat on those tyres. So here's the situation for me, guys. If this was the last lap, I probably would defend pretty hard to hold my position against Pug. But we've got 2 laps to go. He's catching up pretty hard now. I can sort of feel him now. He's right on me. He's looking for a way past. I'm not going to hold him back. I'm not going to step aside and say on through. Or maybe I will. There we go. I'm just slowed down a bit. Just get it done. You know, I can't hold him back for 2 laps. I mean, I've been held back by other people in the past, and some people you can tell they're not doing anything wrong. They are just holding the line. And it's up to me if I want to go around them. And you just think, man, they're holding their position really well. You respect that. But other people seem to make their car twice as wide by weaving left and right and slowing down a bit earlier. They're the ones I just get a bit disappointed at. And I think long term you're building relationships with people, so Pug, I'd be hoping he'd recognise that, you know, I made that a little bit easier for him. Finally 1 lap to go, so we're at 28 minutes 52. Still got 1 lap to go, so slowly heading towards a 31-minute race. Well, for me it is. There are other people quite far ahead. And I've said before about my aim is to be in the top 50. And if so, at the moment this was a 14-car race, I think, pretty sure. So that would be 7th place or better. So Yeah, I'm not in the top 50 for this one, obviously. I did mention in the past about there'll be a point where I hit a wall. I've been doing really well for a while, and I feel like I've just hit that wall. But hopefully this new wheel, that Thrustmaster I mentioned, things will change, hopefully. So if anyone's curious, a Logitech G29 I think was about $350, whereas the Thrustmaster I bought was $1,350, about $1,000 extra. But yeah, bit of quality. I didn't want to get the same wheel, have the same problems. I've always for a while thought, what would it be like having a better wheel? So we'll see. Well, that's it. 10th place, not too bad considering circumstances. Bit glad that was over. I'm going to take the money and run up 4 places. Thanks for watching the stream, guys, and hopefully see you in the next season, of course, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.